Hey guys, this is Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we are back with another Michigan recruiting report. Today we're going to be breaking down 5 flip targets for Michigan. Yes, official visits are underway, and that means Michigan is also looking to flip some guys away from schools they're currently committed to. Before we talk about the flip targets, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free. We'll be dropping new videos throughout official visit season, so don't miss out. And also subscribe to the Wolverine.com today using the promo code UM1. That's UM1. That gets you 2 months of the Wolverine.com's premium access for just $1. So take advantage of this special deal. No better time to do that than right now as official visits get underway and we talk about flip targets. So let's go ahead and break down 5 flip targets for Michigan. Let's go ahead and go on the offensive side of the ball and start off with Ole Miss wide receiver commit Jerome Miles. So a new name, just received an offer from Michigan a little more than a week ago. Michigan offensive coordinator Kirk Campbell was out in Utah doing some scouting. He noticed Jerome Miles at one of his stops, called Ron Bellamy and said, offer this kid. And so the offer happened after they watched some film on him. He is a 4-star on the industry ranking. He was heavily favored to end up at Utah and then committed to Ole Miss last month. Now, from talking to sources, they do feel like his commitment to Ole Miss is soft, which means that Michigan should have an opportunity to get him on campus for an official visit. That has not been set up yet, but that is in the works. So, it's not like he's a Utah kid committed to Oregon or USC. He's committed to Ole Miss. And so the opportunity, I think, would be there for Michigan to make a move. Now, the Wolverines are very much in the mix for elite, big-bodied wide receivers like Quincy Porter and Derek Meadows. Both are set to make official visits in June, but they're definitely not guarantees. And so you have to have some other options. Right now, the leading candidate to fill that spot, if Michigan misses on Meadows and Porter, would be Jacob Washington out of Louisiana. Jerome Miles gives you another option, and he's really intriguing. I mean, 6'3", 190, posted really impressive track times this offseason as well. And like I said, he immediately caught the attention of offensive coordinator Kirk Campbell. So he is one to keep an eye on moving forward. Let's transition to the defensive side of the ball and talk about a fan favorite. On 300, linebacker Elijah Melendez out of Florida by way of Gary, Indiana. He is currently committed to Miami. And as everybody knows, Miami is usually doing the flips in this era. When it comes to NIL, it's hard to find a school better than Miami or Oregon. And so when you're facing Miami and you don't have NIL, it's usually an uphill battle, especially when you're a school like Michigan that preaches transformational over transactional. But I do think Michigan has a legitimate chance to flip Melendez. Like I mentioned, he is originally from Gary, Indiana. He has Midwest ties. He still has family there, and he's been to Michigan in the past. He already has a great relationship with linebackers coach Brian Gene Mary, who recruited him at Tennessee, and defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. Both Gene Mary and Martindale visited Melendez at his high school during the spring evaluation period. That went well. He is set to make his official visit on June 7th. Now, this is going to be a long game. Melendez told me he's going to kind of stay patient and not make any serious moves until late in his recruitment. But again, I think the biggest threat to Miami right now is Michigan. Can Michigan do anything on the NIL front to excite Melendez? We'll see. I don't think he wants it to be a factor. I think he sees the ability to develop and he sees what Michigan can offer off the field, and he knows it's more advantageous than Miami. But I think Michigan has to show some type of life on the NIL front to really be able to complete the flip. All right, let's stick on the defensive side of the ball and talk about top 100 South Carolina cornerback commit Shamari Earls. So I've been giving Earls a lot of hype lately. Lamar Morgan went out to see him at the end of the spring evaluation period, had a meeting with him and his father, and Michigan is now in the picture for Shamari Earls. So he just committed to South Carolina last month, but that meeting with Morgan definitely changed things. Earls is now looking to get to Michigan at some point this summer, if not for an official visit in the fall. So yeah, I think Michigan has worked its way back in here. South Carolina is a pretty heavy NIL school as well, so it'll be interesting to see, if that plays a role. But from a, just an evaluation perspective, Earls is listed at 6'1", 175, which is not accurate at all. He's actually 6'2", 200. He's an impressive physical specimen. He runs into 10.6s in the 100 meter at that size. When I went out to see him this spring evaluation period, I thought he was the best corner I've evaluated since Will Johnson. He is that good. He's been a riser in the rankings. He's now ranked in the top 100 by 3 of the 4 major services. There is so much to like about Shamari Earls, and he would give Michigan that elite corner that they really need this cycle. So still in the early stages here, but I think that Michigan, again, has worked its way into that group. Next on the list, we're going to stick in the secondary and go with 4-star cornerback Alex Graham, who is currently committed to Colorado. Michigan fans should be very familiar with Graham. He was considered a Michigan lean early in the process before he committed to Colorado last month. Now, I visited Graham at IMG a couple of weeks ago, and he told me he was still open to Michigan. His mother attended Michigan, so he is a legacy kid. He's been to campus on a number of different occasions. He's originally from Detroit, actually spent his first couple of years at Cass Tech. So, everything seems to be going Michigan's way there, but, Colorado offers 2 things. One, NIL, which we continue to talk about ad nauseum, and Deion Sanders, who is one of the best defensive backs of all time. You might not like him, and you might not think he's a very good coach, but he does have the resume as a player. And Alex Graham being a corner, that definitely resonates with him. So it'll be interesting to see if Graham makes his way to Michigan. Wink Martindale was at IMG and saw Graham during the spring evaluation period. And with those ties, I think there will always be a chance. It's just a matter of how much does Michigan push, and will they get him on campus? Last on the list is another player in the secondary, and this is also a new name, much like Jerome Miles, Jamar Beal-Goins, who is committed to Texas A&M. And like Miles, he is a kid that Michigan offered here recently during the spring evaluation period. Lamar Morgan made his way out to Arizona to evaluate him and extended an offer. Now, Beal-Goins is a 4-star recruit, a non-300 recruit that's committed to Texas A&M. And for the 1,000th time, Texas A&M, another school that does NIL well. So it'll be interesting to see if Michigan moves the needle here, if they're able to get him on campus. Obviously, Lamar Morgan casting a wide net when it comes to cornerbacks. So, Beal-Goins was open to Morgan visiting him. They did have a positive conversation. No visit set or anything, so we'll have to see how things progress with him, but he's definitely on Michigan's board. All right, that's 5 flip targets to watch out for this offseason. For more Michigan recruiting and for the latest intel on official visits, stick here on our YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe, and also subscribe to the Wolverine.com for $1 for 2 months using the promo code UM1.